All right. Before we get started today, I hate to start the show off like this, but I did want to start with a moment of silence. If Minshew Mania is over, I don't think I could go on, Tom.
Half-mast is too damn high.
Tom's going to write the whole show today because his mic's broken. Tom, he really doesn't know how technology works. Oh, your mic's completely gone? Oh, no, you're muted. You're just muted. You're muted.
Because everyone said it sounded bad, and there's an echo, so I don't want to hurt people's ears. I don't know. Listen, today's Good Morning. It's the first day in a week that I don't have to hand feed my dog. It's very good. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
You get a bad mic today, everybody. You get a bad mic today.
I'm gonna work on it. Here, steer, pen. GPS.
We're gonna get you into the right direction. I'll do more talking, which is what all of you have been begging for years. Can we get more of Brandon and his words and his sweet, sexy, sultry voice? Every day in the comments, I get tired of reading how much you guys want to hear more of me. There's a lot of shit happening in the NFL today in the last 24 hours. Cole from How About Those Chiefs will join us in just a minute to talk about the Joe Thuney trade, because that felt like it came out of left field. So the Chiefs are moving on from Thuney. Gardner Minshew, he has been released, and I do hope the Broncos sign him and bring him in to back up Bo Nix. I couldn't imagine a more sexy quarterback room. Devante Adams officially released. Saquon extended. The Raiders could be trading Michael Mayer. Sam Hubbard just fucking retired. It's going crazy, guys. So, as Tom... Wait. Oh. Did he just remember something? You really...
About this, mother lovers.
Hey, you're back.
For whatever reason, it's not picking up on my other USB, so we had to get it. But it sounds okay? It sounds good?
You're good now.
Thank good God, man. It was a good start to the morning. Now let's get this going. Oh, baby. Nope, we here. I tried. You know what? Let's just unplug it again.
Damn,
let's just unplug it again. Holy cow. Sorry about that.
My reign is over.
It's been a morning. It's been a crazy, crazy morning. Yes. So literally about 10 minutes before this show, as Moosey has been very, very, very ill. First time in a week, I have not had to hand feed him. So this is starting to get the appetite back a little bit. He ate 2 times yesterday, which is a whole lot better. He hasn't thrown up in a couple of days. So
good. Maybe he just missed you.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind out here. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yes, lots of things going on and actual news breaking. Cole has been sitting back in the backstage for an hour now. He's been waiting as we navigate through mic issues and things like that. But hey, we're here. Hey,
I talked to Cole before I talked to Tom today.
That's true.
I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to bring in Cole because I want to talk about Joe Thuney real quick.
Infidelity.
And I'm sure Cole has...
Oh, it's Cole. There we go.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Oh.
Cole, I feel like, where's the stress level at? Because I've seen a couple responses, right, to this
trade.
We got a
Cole sandwich.
Because I feel like you understand it from a cap perspective, right? Because you're going to save a bunch of money. He's getting a little bit older. You know, he's on the last year of his deal, right? He's got 1 year left. So it makes sense to move on from him now. Are there any concerns? Because, of course, when he filled in over at left tackle, things were looking pretty good, and he's a good interior guy. Are there any concerns going forward? Because the last time you and I talked, it was like, all right, yeah, need to go get offensive linemen, and now we're shipping them off.
Yeah, definitely some concern. We don't see the whole picture.
Yes!
I mean,
Yes!
there's not really. Oh my God! Shut the up, Perna. What?
You were scared for the first time in 6 years. Sorry,
I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Hundreds of thousands of people watched me react in real time to the Chiefs getting beat down in Super Bowl 59. I don't know it can get much worse than that, to be honest with you. So I'm already a broken man, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, there's not really a scenario in my head that plays out at like this second where I'm like, oh yeah, the O-line is better than they were before the Joe Thuney trade, just because he's still playing at such a great level. Like I can easily say, well, yeah, it makes sense why they did it, because you're not going to pay Trey Smith allegedly $23 million a year to a deal that they're trying to get him to. That's the number being floated around. And then you're not going to also pay Joe Thuney $26 million this year. Like, paying that much for two guards is pretty insane. Everybody thought it was insane, and I think the Chiefs said that they agreed with you. And it's just a little surprising that it's the direction that it went, but it makes sense. Like, you're just not gonna pay both of those guys. And I don't think the Chiefs were gonna extend Thuney. And that's unfortunate because he deserves it, and I feel like they probably agree that he deserves it.
Do you believe? Sorry, Brandon. This is just a really important question. Do you believe in the rumors that the Kansas City Chiefs hate Joe Thuney, like that they despise him as a person? Because to send him to the Chicago Bears, you must have a level of distaste and disdain for an individual to make them suffer going through that.
Yeah, you see the Bears differently than me, I think. That would be like talking to me about the Broncos or something, but no offense, Perna. But yeah, fine. I mean, they have the connects there. Ryan Poles used to work for the Chiefs. Ben Johnson is going to be making some changes there, and I'm actually excited for the Bears this year. I mean, I know you don't want to hear that answer, Grossi, but like the moves that they're making, the O-line, like they've made 2 moves along the O-line. They have Caleb Williams on the rookie deal. I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued. Yeah. I hope, like, seriously, I hope Joe Thuney finishes out his career still playing really good ball and the Bears are somewhat successful. Like, I don't want them to go crazy over there, but it's a surprising move. I can understand why Ben Johnson wants Joe Thuney.
Yeah. He's very good. And the Chiefs, in terms of the salary cap, they have to keep a certain amount of money free for bail for most of their players. So you always got to factor in their bail funds. Otherwise, they can't function.
So just so you know, they never found all the money Chiefsaholic robbed. I think Clark Hunt might have some of it.
He gave it back to the Chiefs. He was just like, here you go.
There's some extra cap alleviation.
My real question is, like, was this on your radar or anybody's radar? Is it like one of those things that, because when I saw it this morning, it was like, oh, the Chiefs and Bears are having discussions of a possible Joe Thuney trade. And my first thought, Cole, was like, bullshit. Like, the Chiefs they're not going to trade Joe Thuney. Like, this is just, we're going to get all these rumors before free agency starts. No way this happens. It was like 10 minutes later, trade official. Like, is this something that like Chiefs fans kind of knew was a possibility, or was it like, oh God, this kind of came out of nowhere?
Yeah, so not really. I mean, when we're talking, I've been talking about the O-line quite a bit over the past few weeks and options that the Chiefs could be doing, because like obviously they need a left tackle, and that's a whole conversation in and of itself. But the question mark still was with Trey Smith. Well, it's like, well, tag and trade is still a potential possibility, even though reports are saying they're very close on a deal. I did think that they needed to do something about Joe Thuney's cap hit, so I thought an extension was coming, maybe a couple-year extension, and you can get out from underneath his contract in a couple years. But when you see that Joe Thuney's probably getting, in an extension, he's going to get around $20+ million a year.
He's going to get
I think the Chiefs knew that, and they knew that they weren't going to most likely get him the deal that he deserved. So why not kind of shop him and deal him? But yeah, I was in all the talks, it was maybe potentially a Trey Smith trade, even though the reports weren't really pointing in that direction. So yeah, when we were throwing all the possibilities of O-line, I knew that Joe Thuney's cap hit was an issue because it was $27 million, 26.9. But no, I don't.
He was actually worth that though, is what sucks.
Yeah, and that was a possibility I talked about. It's like, well, they could just say, F it, we'll deal with this cap hit. But if you extend Trey Smith, his cap hit would be really low this year. So I was like, maybe they would just eat that. But yeah, I didn't really see a trade coming for Joe Thuney. I mean, I'm not as surprised as the Joe Thuney trade as like Tyreek Hill, but I did say if Tyreek Hill isn't safe, nobody's safe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones in theory and Travis Kelce, but outside of that, I don't think anybody's safe. So I was definitely surprised.
Do you think they're going to go after a tackle in free agency? Do you expect them to pursue one if they can afford it?
I feel like it's draft.
There's just issues with even the draft. Like, they just draft so late. So maybe you could package multiple picks to try to go up. But like a lot of these tackles that are going to go in the first round, they've got shorter arms. And the Chiefs don't like to draft guys with smaller than 34-inch arms, 34.5-inch arms.
I don't either.
Like they love 35-inch plus big paws and how I phrase that. But like, I think you have to explore free agency. And I guess we can't even rule out a trade. I don't know. Like, somebody was saying Ronnie Stanley. Like, I don't know if you're going to go do all that, but like, you can't rule out a potential trade. But there is a couple guys in free agency, like Dan Moore Jr. of the Steelers. He's 26 years old, and the Chiefs, like, they've kind of just shown you. And the caveat to that was they've had Joe Thuney. So like, I might have to walk this back, but they've kind of shown you as long as they have serviceable to above average tackle play at times, they're fine. But they had Joe Thuney, one of the best guards in football, next to the tackle. So now I'm like, well, my thought was if you go get somebody like Dan Moore Jr. in free agency, he's not the best in the world. He gave up a bunch of sacks last year, but Russell Wilson is a statue in the pocket. So like I was writing some of that off. He would be about half the price of some of the top guys, but now you no longer, like, it might be Kingsley Suamataia at left guard who played tackle. So yeah, I think you have to explore the option of free agency. What else are you going to do? Unless they're very confident they can move up in some wild fashion in the draft, or maybe Josh Simmons falls. But are they really going to go into the draft with the potential hope that they get the right guy in round one?
I mean, that's what the Eagles do, and it works out for them every year. So, I mean, you could just have the same exact thing. Just like, there's guys just like fall with them. They're like, oh yeah, here you go. You could just have like some all pros. It's fine.
They've drafted really well.
But I mean, I feel like ultimately this is, hey, we're going to save money right this second. Obviously, this is like a position of need. Do you think that there's a scenario where they're just drafting multiple guys, like, to try and address it? Because ultimately, like, where are the Chiefs' deficiencies heading into this period, right? So you probably need another receiver. Like, that'd be pretty nice, and we'll see what happens with Rice. But offensive line, I feel like, is the beginning, middle, of end of like, hey, this is the top priority. So they can also just double down and hope that they strike some gold and they get some depth, and they're obviously getting the team younger too.
Yeah, I mean, what they've done for a few years is they'll get a Band-Aid guy. So it could be DJ Humphries. I mean, Donovan Smith is reportedly healthy again. He didn't play last year because of a hip injury in the offseason, and he was the Chiefs' left tackle before that. So there is a scenario that plays out where you go get like a Band-Aid guy, just meaning a short-term solution, and you do try to double dip. You get a guy on a one-year deal, and then you go get a tackle in round one and just kind of hope that they can develop, if not this year, the next year, because you've got that veteran. So, that is in play, but I would assume Brett Veach is exploring all options. You needed to they're not even cap compliant yet. So freeing up Joe Thuney, $16 million, they're still negative $1 million in cap space. There's more that can happen, though. You've got the Mahomes restructure. Chris Jones is an option. I said Joe Thuney for a while was an option to restructure and extend, but that's not an option now. So yeah, O-line, and to me, it has to be priority. And I would assume for Brett Veach and company too. If you remember Super Bowl 55, the blowout to the Bucks, Brandon enjoyed that one.
Oh, I love
it. He didn't like Brady, but
I did. It was actually like,
preferred the Chiefs lose.
Sucks. I hate everything about the Super Bowl.
Well, apparently Brett Veach either went to Andy Reid or Mahomes immediately after that loss and said, I'm going to fix it, and I won't let that happen again. Well, it happened again to some extent in Super Bowl 59, but he did a good job that offseason. Like, he went and got Joe Thuney. He drafted Creed, Trey. Like, he did do a bunch of stuff. And I'm trying to remember what year they even traded for. Well, they got Orlando Brown Jr. eventually. Maybe it was that year, too. I can't. It all blends. But I think he'll do something again, and he's not going to leave any stone unturned.
That one was weird.
Mahomes.
Because you had Eric Fisher and Schwartz were both hurt, so they didn't play in the Super Bowl. And you're like, well, if they just get those guys back, they'll be okay. And then they got rid of both of them. And Schwartz he was never going to come back from his injury, and Eric Fisher they just moved on from. But like, they did fix it. And it does seem like this might, I don't want to call it like the resetting, but it feels like this move is like, okay, maybe like we're fine with whatever we do for 2025. We're trying to actually build this line in these tackles for 2026, 2027. And however we do that, this is going to allow us to do it. And I'm hoping it just means this is an actual down year for your team. I want to see what a down year looks like for the Chiefs, because I've
already seen that. AFC Championship loss in overtime. That's
not a down year. I want first round playoff exit. I want not even making the playoffs.
That's a down year. Jesus.
The Chiefs will do something like they will lose all of their games on purpose so they can just pick one in the draft and get the greatest tackle the NFL has ever seen.
And then they win 5 Super Bowls in a row. Yeah, that seems about right.
I hope they waste Travis Kelce's last year, is what I'm saying. Anyway.
I'm definitely intrigued to see what it looks like. Jawan Taylor, like you can move on from his contract next year. So the Chiefs could, like that O-line could look way different here in just 2 seasons. Obviously, we're focused on 2025, but hopefully Travis Kelce's last year it goes well. But it's so hard to get back to the Super Bowl, guys. We'll see what happens. It's almost impossible to continue at the trajectory the Chiefs have been going. Obviously,
I'm sorry, Cole. How were you able to do that with a straight face? That was great delivery, guys. It's really hard to get back to the Super Bowl, guys.
It
you
is.
Don't understand.
I mean, the Chiefs made it look
years.
easy, but
You don't understand, guys, how difficult it is.
So we just say it every year, like how many quarterbacks have made it and then never gone back, or like the amount of times the Chiefs have made it back. Like I'm not going to take it for granted. So I realize it's hard to get
last
there.
Super Bowl is what Cole's saying.
No,
I admire you saying that.
They'll take.
That's really brave of you.
They'll take. No, they'll win this year, and then after Kelce's gone, we'll revisit.
Ooh. Imagine
Taylor
if
Swift
you could actually block. They wouldn't have so many issues at tackle.
Did you hear the report? Again, not making excuses. The Eagles kicked the Chiefs. Did you hear Brett Veach say that at the combine that Kelce was battling a significant illness before the Super Bowl? Did you hear that? Yeah. I never heard. That's the only thing I've ever heard about it.
Cowbell.
I think it was erectile dysfunction. So
it was need the blue pill.
Hey, it happens. You know. Yeah. By the way, the answer to this question of what I would keep in my prison wallet, 3090 GPU.
Oh,
you never know where you can use it.
Isn't your butthole your prison wallet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd have a graphics card just in case, like, anyone was building a PC. 3090 is a really good one. That's what I have in this computer. So yeah.
Nice.
So that was a right turn. Can't lie to you.
This is a good time to let Cole go so he can get back to work. Cole, thanks for filling us in on the Joe Thuney trade. Pleasant surprise to my morning. I hope it doesn't work out for your team, but I hope things keep working out for you.
Thank you, Cole.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. And Tom, congrats on the Millie. The Millie for
Thanks
charity.
For helping, brother.
It was awesome, man. Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Appreciate you guys.
Let's go. Man, listen, Bears offseason champs once again is what I'm saying. Let's go. Let's go, Chicago. But I think it's actually talking about the other side of it. I think it is a good pickup for the Bears. Like while everything I think we talked about is true, is that he is aging and they're going to have to give him a contract. I mean, Caleb Williams needs to live, right? And offensive line was a huge problem for Chicago. And so I think that this is a step in the right direction. We'll see, how he plays this year, but 2, just if they're going to give him that extension like now, or they're going to wait. But ultimately, I think this is a good move for Chicago.
It's a great move for Chicago.
So
Thuney's 32, right? I think he's got
like 31, 32, yeah.
He's got 3-4 years left in him. Linemen can play for a while, assuming they're healthy. And Joe Thuney's, I think, maybe missed 1 game his entire career.
No, he's great in the interior, dude. He's so good.
And a guy who can play guard and kick out to tackle and play tackle at a high level, like that's rare. Usually you move a tackle to guard because they suck at tackle.
Yeah.
And I think Ben Johnson knows how to identify good offensive linemen. Like the Detroit Lions, while he was there, I don't know if it's all him, obviously, right? You've got Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell gets a lot of the credit, but they built a very good offensive line. So I would rely on his eye for that.
Listen, speaking of the Eagles, big time extension for good old Saquon Barkley, the first running back in NFL history to be making $20 million a year. Nice. Signed a 2-year extension. Talk about not only just from a PR perspective, how good this looks, right? Because it's like, hey, this guy came in, and you and I talked about this, I think, on Monday, right? Saquon got signed. And I was like, okay, we think that he could do well with Philadelphia. But for him to have the year that he had, and now the Eagles are like, hey, we are investing in you. You're going to most likely retire as a Philadelphia Eagle, which, oh, man, that's got to suck Giants fans. But,
yeah,
dude, well earned.
They used the words, you will die as an Eagle.
Well, things happen. Crazy things, light poles, police horses, 5 of the last 6. There it is. $41.2 million. Highest paid running back NFL history. Well earned.
Yeah. I did a video recently, and I was talking about Le'Veon Bell's contract in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he got paid more by the Jets for playing like a season and a couple games than Saquon had in guarantees from the contract that the Eagles gave him last offseason. So obviously Saquon's worth this. Everybody knows he was worth the $20 million.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean like an organization's going to pay a guy when they don't have
a running back. Especially, I mean, dude, well, we are not that far removed where we had an entire offseason going, no one's going to pay running backs anymore. The market has completely fallen off, and now highest paid running back in NFL history.
It's like if you're an Eagles fan, you just got to be happy about the way your organizations run and that they took care of a guy like Saquon. And it appears like they are making cap room. The Eagles are in that process. And you keep seeing, like, are the Eagles going to make a move for Myles Garrett? Are they going to make a move? Are they clearing up money for Myles Garrett? I didn't think anything of it. And then Ian Rappaport starts talking about it on the NFL Network. Not saying that it's going to happen, but the fact that notion's getting to Ian Rappaport probably means the Eagles are at least trying to make some phone calls about it.
Talk about the rich getting richer. Could you imagine? Like, because we've been talking about this, but I have not bought into it. I have not bought into, because I don't think it makes the most amount of sense for Philadelphia because, like, their pass rush is already really damn good. And getting Myles Garrett is just like a cheat code at that point. Now, are you willing to pay all that money? And, I know that there's cap stuff going on, and the compensation would be interesting, but good God, man, if that actually happened. And also, Jordan, no, this is actually what I was thinking about yesterday, because Devante Adams getting released by the New Jersey Jets, bunch of really smart individuals there, but again, makes sense that they couldn't get anything for him. Devante Adams going to get released. And I was like, watch him go to the Chiefs. Watch him go to the Chiefs and catch passes from Patrick Mahomes. And guess what? We all suffer. Hey, I don't hear Chiefs fans. See ya! Man, we thought that was going to age so poorly. I thought we don't have an ad read today. I thought it's Friday.
What is today?
Today's Wednesday. I could be wrong.
I think it's today. What is
it today?
March 5th. Today's
today. Oh, you're right. Sorry. There's been a lot going on this week.
What was I going to say?
You were going to say.
I think the Eagles are freeing up money. I think they're just going to sign all the guys we're hoping hit free agency. I think Zach Bond's coming back. I think they'll figure out a way to keep Sweat. Probably Williams, too. I think that's what they're making money for, keeping their unit intact.
I would think that's the priority.
Myles Garrett would be hilarious on the Eagles until they win 2 in a row. And then it's like, okay, do we want Philly to be the team that is the first team to three-peat? I don't really know.
I would love Gardner Minshew in Miami. Oh, I would love that. Just to have Mike McDaniel and Gardner Minshew, that tag team together. Just the mic'd up, the memes would be.
I want that to be a show.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
McDaniel and Minshew.
McDaniel and Eminem.
Oh.
That's right.
And every night the episode ends when they eat mom's spaghetti together.
Mm-hmm. What?
And M&M's. Guys, Turtle Beach is back, and they're ready to slap their headphones right on your dumb, stupid heads. They said, you know what? Love what you guys are doing promoting Turtle Beach, but can you call everybody's heads dumb and stupid? I said, sure, I can do that.
That's weird that they
Why would I do that? Because I believe in Turtle Beach. It's the only beach I actually believe in, Tom. And these are the best gaming headphones out there.
You don't believe other beaches exist?
Nope.
Or?
Can't have other beaches when the world is flat, Tom. Only one beach, and it's Turtle Beach. And these Stealth 700 headphones, perfect for gaming. You want to play a little video game? Want to go to the beach in Mario World? You can do it.
What is that? Beach in Mario? Okay, all right.
There's a beach in Mario World.
Yeah.
You know how many worlds there are in Mario World?
There's a lot.
It's Mario Worlds. Mario World.
That, right? Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. Promo code GPS. Link in the description. You're going to get 10% off when you use our code, when you use our link. Peach Beach. See? Peach Beach. Trenches, baby. Peach Beach.
That's what you're advertising? Peach Beach?
People are confirming that there are beaches in Mario World.
Well, you just said that there was only Turtle Beach, so that's what I'm confused about. Like, are you...
There's pretend ones. There's pretend beaches in Mario World. I'm talking about real life beaches.
Okay,
life
so there's only one
Enjoy
real life beach in the entire world, you're saying?
Huh?
What?
These are so much better than the previous headphones I had, which were just the garbage that came with my console.
I got you those for Christmas.
Yep, I said, Tom, thanks for nothing, idiot. These suck. Give me some Turtle Beaches and we can be friends again.
I need to find better friends.
80-hour battery life. Crazy comfortable. Head to turtlebeach.com. Use code GPS for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off at turtlebeach.com with code GPS. And after you purchase, they're going to say, where'd you hear about us? You say
I can't
GPS,
hear you. Oh.
Or you say ultimate navigation system. Huh?
What?
I just want to keep these on.
Okay, you should.
Helps mute Tom's voice.
I get that a lot.
Oh.
You should wear headsets when you watch my content and don't have it plugged into anything. If anything, have music playing while you're listening to it.
Which you can do with Turtle Beach. Connect to your phone. Stream music right into your brain.
That's it. So, no.
Cooper Cup
No.
to Cleveland?
No. First of all, no. Second of all, no. And third of all, no. That's not even remotely comparable. Not even close. So maybe the Cleveland will do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just go, you know what? Let's go get ourselves an aging wide receiver and trade away our best play. You know what? Now I've convinced myself that they can do it.
There's still time, but it doesn't feel like Cup's going to actually be traded. Feels like they're going to have to release him.
Yeah, I mean, if Devante Adams is getting released, I mean, I know that the contracts are a little different, but yeah. I mean, are you real quick, because there's a lot going on. Sam Hubbard retired. We got freaking Dallas re-signing people. My question to you is, because the big story yesterday was Devante Adams. Are you actually concerned that he makes his way to Kansas City? Because he is free to sign with any team now, right? Be a free agent. There's all these rumors of him going out west, right? And then with Aaron Rodgers, and it's picking up a little steam of maybe, the Raiders are a potential spot. I can't imagine Devante Adams walking back into that Raiders locker room and be like, guys, I'm back. It is a different coach, right? Pete Carroll is different coach, different situation. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if Devante's following him there.
I hope he wants to go to the West Coast. I hope he stays true to that notion.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going to go to the AFC, obviously I'd like Devante as a Bronco. But I think he makes more sense for a team like the Chargers, who really need some wide receiver help.
Devante would be oh my God, would be so much fun with Justin Herbert.
Outside of Lada McConkey.
Please.
I think that the Chiefs could be in play just because I think Devante wants to go and play with a good quarterback. The Rams would be interesting. I'm just trying to think of actual West Coast teams. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he'd go back to the Raiders. That would probably be
he would.
a little too far.
He's a big Quasimodo fan.
Yeah. I don't think the Chiefs are going to do it. They got, like Cole said, they're trying to get money now, but they're going to lose.
They have a
Hollywood
structured
Brown,
settlement.
probably. They're going to lose DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know.
Makes sense. If I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm making a call. I don't know. Based on the fundraiser, I don't know. There's lots of clips still coming out. Lactated Dawn clip. That's done. There's a feet montage that has been put together. There's a lot of things going on.
Gross.
There's
You've jumped the shark with your feet.
T. Higgins tagged. Sam Darnold not tagged. So Sam Darnold, unless Minnesota comes over and is like, hey, here's a bunch of money to re-sign his backup. But
This,
no surprise
yeah.
there. Let's see. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Hold on. Give me un momento, per favore. When I restarted my computer, I had to close down even the agenda and all that stuff. So apologies. Sorry. Oh yeah, you mentioned. I saw that the around the horn ends literally today. Yeah.
No, it actually ends May 23rd, but they made the official announcement that the show would be having its last episode on May 23rd.
Oh, so they released the official date when it's ending.
Yeah. So like
Understood.
We kind of knew that Around the Horn was coming to an end. I think that was reported like in November, or that at least it was in jeopardy of coming to an end. Final episode May 23rd. After 23 years, more than 4,900 episodes. It is the end of another era in the world of sports content, media.
It's getting more and more interesting.
The show started with Max Kellerman. I think people kind of forget Kellerman was the first host. I must have started watching it right when that show launched, because like I remember Kellerman leaving. I was like, damn, I liked that guy. And then Tony Reale's held the spot for 22 years or whatever after that. He's associated with the show, but
yeah,
I always liked the format. Obviously, like I liked it because I was a Woody Page fan. I remember reading Woody Page and liking the way he wrote about the Broncos at the Denver Post. And then you just had, in terms of like these like debate formats, I thought Around the Horn was kind of the best because it picked actual sports journalists from different parts of the country. So you got different perspectives of people writing in different markets. And it wasn't so much about like them debating a stupid topic over and over again. I felt like you got more from this show. The point system was fun. And now it's like, in terms of like, if you're watching stuff on ESPN, they don't have writers like this anymore. Papers aren't fucking dying. So like it's truly like the end of a real, I don't know. It's just a little sad that this is going to be going. I thought this format is cheap and easy to produce too. So I don't know what they're going to replace it with that's easier to do than this. I don't know.
Yeah. Hunter, real quick, I just wanted to linger on this. We talked about it, so you can just rewind a little bit. But that is an amazing profile picture of Brandon Perna shirtless with a cheese head on. I really appreciate it, Hunter.
That was out in the cold, right?
Yep.
Was I out in the cold then?
Out in the cold. Yeah, I mean, well, that's just you and I have talked about this forever of just like where sports media and sports content is going. And brother, I have no idea what this is going to look like in 5 years. I don't know what a lot of things are going to look like in 5 years, but in terms of just, it's just the clips, it's the clickbait, it's the lots of yelling and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I agree. Cause like ESPN still has like some great folks, like great journalists that work for them.
Yeah.
And then they do an excellent job. I think it's just going with the times, and I'm not surprised that after a while Around the Horn is going, because I don't know what their viewership was going to be like. But I think it's just, yeah, I can understand the sadness, because I think it's kind of a reflection of an earlier time in sports media. So we're all getting old.
You're all getting an extra half hour of the Pat McAfee show.
Ernest 40.
Or you're getting Stephen A. Smith starting his presidential campaign, official time slot, where he just talks what he's
State of
going to
the
do
Union
as president.
every single day, Monday through Friday. Just like, here's the State of the Union. All right, why not?
Yeah, it's like around the horn is just not like a clippable enough show. They didn't say crazy enough shit. They had fun debates. It's a fun debate show.
Devante to the 49ers. The 49ers need to afford their own players. Like they gotta, they got, I mean, listen, they would probably love Devante Adams, but who knows what Brock Purdy's going to get.
But it's like, I loved around the horn, but I haven't watched it in years.
Sure.
But I also like, I hardly have anything on. I have Good Morning Football on in the morning, and I mostly mute that because I don't think that show's as good as it used to be. And I try to like form my own opinions. So I don't know like if I'm the right person to be like, I haven't watched it. Also, like people are working. How do they have time to watch something like at what time's that air? Like 11? 2?
Yeah, dude,
I don't even know what fucking time it comes on. Like most people are working.
Well, I think that's also the problem too, right? I mean, like you mentioned McAfee before, but in terms of the way that is also consumed, ESPN's on at like every single airport, like every single gym, right? ESPN's always going to be on. But in terms of that's also why it's on YouTube as well, because the way that the audience digests and consumes content has also changed significantly. I mean, just even in terms of just regular shows, it's mostly streaming now, right? Like I literally only have cable because of football. That's the only reason I still have it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised. And I think that this is a show that could... Do you think that they could move it to a format like YouTube and it can find success in like 2025?
Maybe. My first thought was like, can I put that on my channel? Can I just have that show? Like,
just steal it.
I mean, when I was first
around
thinking about clickbait, like that's what I thought like it kind of could be. But shows like that take planning. You need a producer, but it seems like an easy format to produce. Because now like I mean that show was ahead of its time in that like all the people debating weren't in studio, like they were
correct. It was virtual.
They were streaming out of like where they wrote from, and before like it was always like odd if you had somebody in on your show that wasn't there with you to talk. So yeah, I think it could be done somewhere else. I don't know if it will. You got to go to where everybody is.
Shout out Mason Crosby real quick. Yes, retiring with the Green Bay Packers. Packers legend. Let's go. Let's go. Legend.
Crosby retired. Oh, yeah. You guys extended McManus. You got a contract
we did
for
McManus. 3 years. So because Goody talked about wanting to get that done in the offseason too, of just, hey, we found a kicker that could actually be more consistent. So
Goody and the Gooch Slayer. Goody and the Gooch. Goody and the Gooch.
Devante with an A. No, Travin, I agree. I think every team is going to be giving Devante Adams a call. I mean, look at the Patriots. I don't know if he's going to pick up from the Patriots, but they're going to get a... Because now it's up to Devante to go, okay, where do I want to go? Do I want to go back to the West Coast? Because kind of has a life there. Family's there as well. I mean, that was one of the reasons why he left Green Bay. But it's also, do you want to go to a contender? Do you want to just go and try to make some more money near, the twilight of your career? So it's just about like, what does Devante Adams want? Because he has legitimate freedom to sign wherever the hell he wants. So it'll be interesting. Texans would be fun. Oh my God, I would love to see him with CJ Stroud. That'd be super fun.
Texans would be good. Yeah. Because Diggs is going to be a free agent too, right? Unless they re-sign Diggs. He's coming off an injury.
Which who knows if they're going to do.
That's a good upgrade.
Yep. So I'm just saying.
Devontae's going to be able to go wherever he wants. The question is, like, he's made a ton of money so far.
Yeah.
What's he going to play for? Like, what's his contract going to be? That's one part of it. And is he going to, because if he wants max money, he's going to go play for some suck-ass team. Some team that's not a contender. If he wants to go win, he's going to go play for a more team-friendly deal somewhere, is my opinion. Knowing that, the Eagles are going to sign him to like a 3-year, $100 million deal. And then they're going to trade A.J. Brown. Ooh, what if I just predicted something crazy?
That'd be pretty crazy.
Sometimes I just throw stuff at the wall. We'll see what sticks, guys.
I'm actually having a meeting about the draft after this show. So, again, when I know, you'll know. But I'll be there all week. I just don't know what capacity I'm going to be there. So, when I know...
You announcing a pick?
Yeah. I don't know. This is not even.
Are you hosting the first round of the draft?
That's definitely not. They don't want
Commissioner
me to do that.
Tom Grossi.
This is not even like smoke. I have no idea. What my hope is that I can go there. I'll be there all week, but Thursday and Friday I can stream from the draft. We could do our normal draft stream, and then Saturday, if I could attempt to announce a 7th round pick, I will be the happiest person in the history of people. And yeah, but again, I don't know. I don't know what capacity I'm going to be there. Devante Adams is a top wide receiver target for the Patriots.
Pats will be aggressive.
Do you want more money? Because I will give you all the money.
Yeah.
Start developing Drake May. You get one of the best route runners. Because T. Higgins, I don't think is in that conversation anymore because he got tagged. I don't think you give up the draft capital. The Patriots have a ton of money. So here you go. Again, I don't know if Devante wants to do that because I don't think the Patriots.
The Bills should consider it.
Bills would be.
I think he'd be better than Amari was for him.
Yeah.
Bills should consider.
We'll see, Demetrius. We'll see. That would be
good team should consider it.
The Cleveland Browns.
They're not good.
Bring in Devante Adams.
No.
You trade away Myles Garrett.
The Browns in my head don't get to do shit. They don't get to do anything until they move on from Deshaun Watson.
Nothing.
How does Andrew Berry still have a job? Like Cleveland, I'm sorry. You're just so screwed, man.
It's not great.
You're so screwed. I was talking about this with Will yesterday. I think Shedeur Sanders is the perfect quarterback for the Browns. There's like these, I think, silly rumors about Shedeur. Like coming out of the combine, there are people like saying he didn't present himself well in some of the interviews.
Didn't he like shake hands with all the production
members? And it could be because he doesn't want to play for those fucking teams. You're like, I'm not playing for you because of who his dad is. So let's just say there's a little bit of like uncertainty or controversy around Shedeur, even if it's fabricated. I don't know how good of an NFL quarterback he can be. I liked a lot of what he did at Colorado. Mm-hmm. But comparatively to Deshaun Watson, he would be a saint, a hero, a guy who the controversy you have attached to his name would be so minimal. Like it would be the smartest thing for the Browns to do. If say Cam Ward goes 1 and he's sitting there, like I don't know.
You need, if you're the Cleveland Browns, you need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like you need a lot of things, help, God, but quarterback, is at least attainable right this second. So I don't disagree. And, Shedeur, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how good of, like you said, I don't know how good of a quarterback he's going to be, but it feels like one of those things that Caleb Williams got this. CJ Stroud got this.
Yeah.
There's like, it just seems that there's always, around draft time, it's like, hey, how can we take like these high ranking guys and start pulling them back down? So, which I just think is crappy. And I'm so glad that like CJ Stroud found the success that he did because he's like, hey, remember when we were all complaining about this stupid ass test score? Hey, I think it turned out pretty well. And Brian, I think that's just traditional sports media as a whole and how people are consuming it. I think that's just
Sanders he has a big developmental period.
Sure.
He's got a nice arm. He's accurate. He played behind a bad offensive line, and he handles that well. His first year at Colorado, I watched him make some throws. I was like, that's an NFL throw. That's an NFL throw. I was like, I love watching this guy play football. And I didn't want to love watching him play football because Deion Sanders, more than anybody, annoys me in the NFL world. I've always found Deion Sanders annoying while also like respecting his game. I didn't want to like him, but as a player that first year at Colorado, I really enjoyed watching him play. I didn't think he improved a lot in year 2 at Colorado. I think that's kind of like, we're like, how much better did he get?
Sure.
I think if he can get quicker at decision-making, going through progressions, like the shit you want all NFL quarterbacks to do, I think he can be a decent NFL quarterback. He needs to go to the right situation. Mm-hmm. If you put him in front of a good offensive line, I think he'd be very good quickly. But I don't know. He's an interesting prospect to me because this draft class is interesting. It's like they say if JJ McCarthy stayed one more year, he'd be the number 1 guy going in this draft, right? So we don't really know. I hope he goes to a good situation. I followed him closely because he's here in Colorado. And so like the guys over at DNVR follow the Buffs closely. So I've been able to pay more attention to like what's going on there. But it's funny, like combine happens. You get all the negative rumors that start about dudes. And sometimes that's teams playing hard. Like saying like, yeah, we didn't like the way he interviewed because they want a guy to fall to him. You know what I mean? Like we've seen that before. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But like Shedeur in the set, they talk a lot of shit too. So like all the criticisms aren't coming out of left field. Like they talk shit. Like that's part of the deal.
Yeah. I don't think
it's fun.
Woody, that's actually yes, if they're not going to take Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Because I do agree with what Brandon's saying. A lot of and take this with this much grain of salt. All the talk coming out of the combine, or a lot of the narratives, is Cam Ward is number one. Cam Ward's the guy. Like, we'll see which Sanders is going to go down, whether it's going to be 2 or a little bit lower. But Cam Ward's the guy. Like, that just seems like a pretty significant consensus. So if the Titans aren't planning to draft Ward, absolutely. Then they have a ton of leverage. But if they are, hey, like we should probably go get this guy, then it doesn't mean diddly squad. And then it's up to, again, you have to read the minds of other teams and go, okay, well, what does this mean? If you want to trade up and go get Cam Ward, what is that going to cost you? What is that going to look like? Are teams desperate to trade up and go get Cam Ward? Has he separated himself from the rest of the QBs to justify trading up a significant amount to go and get him? So I think it's ultimately, it could, but it depends on what the Titans want to do. The Titans are looking to trade down, and there's a team that's really desperate to go get Cam Ward. Yeah, then they got a bunch of leverage here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Titans have as much fun watching Will Levis as the rest of us. Maybe like, you know what? I don't think he's the guy, but damn, he's fun to watch play football. For better or worse, we want to watch Will Levis until the NFL doesn't exist. Abdul Carter has been slotted in as the number one prospect, but also as a guy going to the Titans for so long. In my head, I've not been sold on the fact that they will take a quarterback at pick 1. Even though that's definitely what they should do. Like, if Cam Ward doesn't work out, you'll be in the same position. You try again. I don't think Will Levis is the guy. Maybe I would be wrong. But somebody just said, do you think they would go after Sam Darnold? If they think there's hope for Will Levis, then yeah, they should go after Sam Darnold and build their team either just by taking whoever they think is the best player in this draft or trading back and getting a lot of pieces to build around. But
O-line, I'd build up if I was the Titans. I know you need a quarterback, but I think you're building up. And Sam Darnold, I think he's going to a place where they draft. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Vegas. I wouldn't be surprised like he goes and just someone who just drafted a quarterback, one of these early teams, and they go get Sam Darnold to be a bridge guy. I would not be surprised. So
I feel like Sam Darnold is a Raider. He just makes too much sense for them, but I don't know, man. We'll know so much more next week.
No, I couldn't afford that even if I wanted to, but I know what you're talking about because I saw it weeks ago, and this comment made me go and look it up. This is actually real. It's from 1957. So Paul Hornung literally game worn jersey. Yeah, it sold for $103,700. So no, I did not purchase that. No. But very cool. Very, very cool. I mean,
I'm not buying Tom a ring. I'll buy him a ring pop. I'll buy Tom a ring pop. A ring pop.
But yeah, that's a lot of money. But so I'm told that's the site. If you ever watch Friday Night Q&As, sometimes we just they sell on that site like pieces of the Titanic. Like they sell like actual pieces of it. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. But
this is Leonardo DiCaprio's toilet.
I've gotten like a couple Pokemon cards on there because like no one was bidding on Pokemon, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because they're adults.
All right, listen. When I'm able to not do anything because I'm not going to sell them, I don't know. Bert, what do you got coming out?
Probably a Joe Thuney episode. I did a winners and losers of the combine. I put that up yesterday. You can go watch that. It was decent. And then we're working on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm still trying to take care of a sick dog, so I'm a little handcuffed.
I thought you said the dog's better.
First time in a week, didn't have to hand feed him. I've been sitting literally next to him and just hand feeding him, so that's been kind of nice. But yeah, if there's some insane news that breaks, I'll put out a thing, but I'm probably going to need another day to take care of him, but we'll see what happens. But folks, appreciate the hell. Are you back on Friday?
Yeah. It's the next 10 days. There'll be a lot that happens.
It is, because a week from today is when free agency starts. I'm using all the air quotes because now you're seeing all these trades that are starting to come together now. But
yeah.
But folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on Friday. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. You've reached your destination.
Do you have to poop?
No.
I do.